So I need ads on my website to make money, but my ads are slowing down my site. And if my website is slow, then I get less traffic, which means less eyeballs on my ads and less money. Hey everyone, Andrea here. If you've been following me from the beginning, you know that I recently migrated my website to Kinsta, and in the process did a buttload of speed tests to find out if migrating actually gave me a performance boost. Well, it did, but I know that I still have a lot of work to do. So I reached out to Brian, my colleague at Kinsta, who just recently led a webinar on how to optimize your WordPress website for speed. He looked at my website and gave me some concrete tips on what I could do to speed it up, which also left me with a couple of difficult decisions to make. Hey Brian, thanks so much for joining me today.
No problem. I'm excited to help you out and speed up your site.
What are some of the main reasons why a website might be slow?
First of all, you should be on a good host. And here at Kinsta, we do great WordPress hosting, but it's very important to be on a good host because if you're on a host who puts like too many sites up and you're trying to share resources with like 1,000 different sites, that can actually have a big impact on your site. Because if one of those sites gets a spike, then it could also affect how fast your site loads. So I guess that would be the top thing that comes to mind. Another thing that comes to mind is sometimes people have too many requests on their site. So each time that a page loads, it has to grab a lot of things from a lot of different places before you can actually see the page. And if you have too many things in too many places, then um, definitely slow your site down. And we'll be able to take a look at that when we look into the speed test in just a bit. And then the third thing that I see the most often is people don't optimize their pictures that well. So they might upload something, they might upload like a picture of whatever they're trying to blog about, but the picture is not the right size. It might not be the right format. So it's important to do that all right. So I think I read somewhere that most of the web page size is taken up by fonts and pictures. So you'll want to make sure the pictures are, the right size for your website.
You were kind enough to offer to walk me through one of my results. So why don't you share what your findings were?
The most important thing I would say is the page speed scores and this score here. That's not really the main thing to focus on when you're trying to do a speed test, because if you actually look up some popular websites like Airbnb.com, they actually have quite a low page speed score, but I think they're doing just fine in terms of their business. Well, maybe not right now, but they're quite because like I think when I talk to a lot of people about this, they're like, this has to be 100 or your site's not going to get sales. Uh, People tend to adopt that kind of mindset, but the most important thing is really this time here, the actual time that it takes to load the page, and not necessarily this A, B, C, D, E, F scale score. So here we have 8 seconds, which I think is definitely on the slower side. I think the industry consensus, people like to keep their website under 2 seconds. So there's definitely some things that we can improve here. And the biggest thing that I saw, I like to go to the waterfall here. I
Mhm.
think the main issue on your blog here is you see all these repetitive things here that seem to be related to advertisement. But if we even look on a single post, it's not too slow. So uh, if I say like if you're here and all of these ads do add up to some kind of income for you, maybe I'd say like keep them up. But
Mhm.
but if the ads are not, um, putting out a lot of income, it might be worth trying to remove them. and to see if your ranking will actually go up. Because if that does, that might kind of offset stuff and you can make your income in a different way.
To be honest, I 100% thought that my images were what was slowing down my website, but Brian took a look at them and he actually gave me a pretty decent score on my image optimization. So the number one thing that I'm really going to focus on is fixing this ad situation, which I think I'm going to tackle it by turning off dynamic ads and replacing some of my highest performing ads with static images so I can still get that revenue through the clicks without sacrificing any of my speed. Another easy win for me will be to turn on Kinsta's CDN and caching to make sure that I'm really utilizing the built-in speed optimization features. Here's where I stood with my speed tests before migration and after migration to Kinsta. Here are my new results. Impressive. I was really able to shave off a ton of time loading my website through the optimizations that Brian suggested and also making a couple of other tweaks to my website. Another video and another couple of seconds shaved off of my website load time. Stay tuned for our next video where I chat with Matteo, Kinsta's editor-in-chief, to chat about how I can increase the SEO on my website and hopefully drive more traffic. Thanks for watching.